everyone, I am Big Mike.
And I'm Justin Furry Ferguson.
And welcome to Mergy Movies.
And here we go.
Information station for the movies Candace and I are playing each month for upcoming movie releases and much more.
So sit back, relax, and the movie will start shortly.
The first movie that you all chose for January, best of the previous year's last season, was Kung Fu Panda, featuring the voice talents of Jack Black, Dustin Hoffman, and Angelina Jolie. Po is a panda who works at the noodle shop with his father when his dreams become reality when he joins the world of Kung Fu and studies alongside his idols, the legendary fighters, Tigress, Crane, Mantis, Viper, and Monkey, under the leadership of their guru master, Shifu. But before they know it, the vengeful and treacherous snow leopard Tai Lung is headed their way, and it's all up to Po to defend everyone from the oncoming threat. Let's take a quick peek at that.
After you, Panda.
Just like that? No sit-ups? No 10-mile hike?
I vowed to train you, and you have been trained. You are free to eat. Enjoy.
Hey!
I said you are free to eat. Have a dumpling.
Hey!
You are free to eat.
Am I?
Are you?
I'm not hungry.
Master.
So, Fergie, what did you think of this movie?
Okay, well, I thought this movie was, a typical Pixar movie where it was generally another one of the very Disney mentality. It's very family friendly. Has that sort of mentality. It has sort of a hyperactive nature to it a little bit. Obviously, with Jack Black's performance, you're going to get something very hyperactive and very off the wall and bouncy with it. I realize most of these actors are, for them, these are not really child actors. These are not actors you really would expect with childlike movies. So I watched it and I was really intrigued by watching each of these actors in a genre they're not usually involved in. Like Jack Black maybe will be more into kids movies, but someone like Angelina Jolie or Dustin Hoffman are not really geared towards children's movies. And I really liked watching that fact. And then just getting down to the simple fact that it's incredible animation and the fight sequences are really a lot of fun. and they're really a lot more intricate than most of Pixar's other fight scenes and a lot of their other ones. Like if you look at The Incredibles or any of their other ones with real life people in, there's fight scenes in them. They're not as intricate as the ones in this one. So they really, in that sense, they took a big leap into that. The performances are kind of what I gear my critiques towards, and I like the concept of watching these actors out of their norm.
When it comes to Jack Black, at first you like him in his movies, but then all of a sudden he sort of seems to do the same thing all over again. And in this movie, I believe that he pulled that off right, because in a kid's movie, you apply his qualities of acting to a kid's movie, and then it even makes it more fun because, you know, you see Jack Black doing that role. Same thing. You don't think Angelina Jolie's Tigress at all in that movie, really. You have to listen for her voice and stuff. But when it comes to the movie itself, I was really reluctant to see it at first because it's Kung Fu Panda. It's like another Pixar movie, you know what I mean? It's not going to be anything huge and spectacular. But the thing about it is I was pretty wrong with that because the fight scenes were really well. Like when I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, TMNT, I really liked that as well. And the fighting scenes reminded me of that, except these are more obviously well done, I guess you could say. But all in all, I thought it was a really good performance by those actors in this genre, like you stated. And when it comes to Pixar, I believe that they have done a decent job with this form of genre. So when it comes to Kung Fu Panda, I would recommend it to other people. It's a very good movie, family fun, and full of spunk and spontaneity, and it's very funny in parts. So yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah, well, you look at Jack Black's other films, and you look at the other things where he's kind of like your School of Rock and the Pick of Destiny, and he has that sort of really his goofiness that comes through.
Yeah. When the main thing that I loved about this movie was the fight scenes, which I was actually quite impressed for an animation movie to have actually pretty decent fight scenes. Yeah. You don't see that in a lot of animation movies now. Yeah. All in all, there's nothing much I can say about this movie that's necessarily bad. It's just something that, you go things like, it's Kung Fu Panda. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's going to be something like, something
like a Pixar.
Exactly, like a Pixar. It's just going to be like...
That would be the only bad thing I would say about it, too, is that it's... Although it does venture out in terms of that, but in terms of storyline, it's nothing different than what Pixar does.
Exactly, that's what I was wanted to get at, too. As in terms of storyline, it's nothing really dramatically new.
No.
That's it. Yeah. But the newer things about it is just like you said, the actors that normally aren't in this genre, and things like that bring a new little warmth to it.
You could say Angela. The one thing is a lot of the other actors, you also have a rather interesting couple other guest appearances from Jackie Chan and Seth Rogen as two other. That's right. And you'd expect some of them to be in a movie like this, and I like their performances in this. They're as supporting characters.
Yeah.
I can't give it an amazingly high rating because it's not when you look at the glory age of Disney, every time they did something, they took a classic story and they created something completely, they could do 4 or 5 princess stories in a row, and each princess's story was radically different.
And Beauty and the Beast was the first to ever be nominated for Best Picture, not for Best Animated Picture, for Best Picture. Yeah,
but then you also, you take that and you compare it to Little Mermaid or Sleeping Beauty or Snow White, and they jump from one another. They're completely, radically different from each other. And with Pixar, you have that same sort of recipe for the script of the course of events that happen throughout the course of the movie. There's the touching moments. There's the same heartfelt confessions. There's the moment of hurt from the star that they have to come to some sort of realization.
Yeah.
There's these kind of recipeed moments that are in all the Pixar Disney movies, where I would expect them to, even if you took that recipe and scrambled it up and put it in a different order, it would be interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
But every single one is in the same order.
Yeah.
And you just take a character out, put a new character in, and you have the same thing. Now with this movie, the fight sequences and the actors and everything make it
a little bit different than other ones.
But it's still, I can't give it that high of a rating.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that it's nothing amazingly new. It's nothing that really swept me off my feet.